Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I decided, sort of last minute, to include this film to the list. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This is a 2022 film that was directed by Halina Reijn or Rajn. I don't know, there's a J before the N. Maybe it's silent, maybe it's not. So this is a movie that I heard about a couple of months ago. I saw a couple of reviews for it. It sounded interesting. And because it's a smaller film, it's an A24 film, I didn't see that many more people talking about it. I said, fuck it, why not? And I just got done watching it. The plot is we follow this group of young people. I mean, they're in their early 20s at least. And they're just partying and drinking and doing drugs and just having a sweet, good old time, I guess. And they decide to play a game. A game called Bodies, 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 where it's pretty much like Werewolf, right? Where they all kind of get a piece of paper. One of them is the killer, at least, they're supposed to be the killer. And then they go around the house, and if they find a body, they're supposed to yell bodies, bodies, bodies. And then they kind of have to vote and figure out who they think is the killer and see if they're right. But the problem is that people really do end up dead. One by one along the way. So now we're legit trying to figure out who the killer is. I really enjoyed this film. I did. I liked a lot of things about this movie. First things first, I described the plot. I described the premise. And yes, it's a part of my 31 Days of Horror because it is technically a horror movie. But I almost feel like it's a comedy first. You know what I mean? I do feel like it's more of a comedy in the sense of the way that these characters are written, the way that these characters are acted and portrayed. You can probably tell if you watch this that most of these people are not likable. Right? A lot of these people, they're doing drugs, they're doing coke, they're doing God knows what. They're being severely irresponsible. They're rich and privileged, and they have no responsibilities at all given what they're doing all day. And so you kind of don't like them. You're kind of like, what the fuck? Why do I care if any of these people die? And that's kind of the point. The movie is very self-aware that these people are assholes. They are full of themselves. They don't really deserve your sympathy. But what's great is that the way how they work the humor in, maybe not everybody's going to like that sense of humor. Maybe not everybody's going to get that sense of humor or appreciate it. But I sure did. I like when a movie can be horror, but also not take itself too serious. Most of the cast I don't really know, at least the girls, a lot of them, it's my first time seeing them. Amanda Stenberg, Maria Bakalova, Rachel Sennott, and I think there was a couple other girls that I did not write their names down, but all of them are pretty good. All of them are believable as these kind of assholey young people who don't really give a shit, and there's a lot of hooking up, a lot of like, hey, we're in a relationship, but like your partner is going off to flirt with so and so, and I guess we're all supposed to be okay with it, or it's all good, or maybe there's jealousy, maybe not. I did find it amusing that some of the boyfriends of some of the girls, I did recognize them, like Pete Davidson, of course. Right? Everybody knows Pete Davidson. And of course, he's the biggest douchebag of the group. Imagine that. What a stretch, I'm sure, for Mr. Pete Davidson. And also, Lee Pace is a boyfriend of one of the girls. And I instantly saw him and thought, he's too old for this shit. You know, like, he's way older than any of these people, and the movie does call that out, though. It's not like he's trying to play younger than he really is. And that's what adds to the dynamic. Once they start playing the game, and then once people start ending up dead, you find yourself not trusting any of them. You find yourself being like, I don't know, that person sounds like they're full of shit. But then that person is a piece of shit. So it's like, I don't think either of you are telling the truth. And then there's one sequence in particular near the end where all of the characters are sort of hashing out their lies to each other, hashing out how they really feel about each other. And that's when you realize, yeah, I don't trust any of you. You know what I mean? But that's what I like. I love a whodunit mystery. I love a, man, which one of these people is the killer, and trying to figure it out amongst ourselves. There is some decent blood. There is some decent kills, or maybe after the fact discovery of the kills. I thought this movie had a lot going on for it. I thought this movie, for a film that kind of comes out of nowhere, for a film that probably a lot of people haven't seen, I think this movie's a sleeper. You know, I think this movie is something that if you do watch it, if you do go in knowing what type of film you're going to get, hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it's something that you can get something out of the way that I did. The ending might disappoint you because maybe you feel like it's lame, but I dug it. I'm going to give this movie, fuck it, a full price. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you've seen Bodies. What do you think of it? Did you like it as well? Or have you never heard of this movie? So do you now have interest in seeing it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Swimming in beers, I've been through it all, let me trickle a tear. In case you didn't know, I was living sarcastic. A motherfucking monster, something Jurassic. Had to wrap the whole entire bed in plastic. Smoke bitch gets when she fucking with raptors. Killing and drilling and I'm sipping on the 4-0. Listen by a whole entire motherfucking torso. Oh, what a rush, sniffing some more blow. Let the bitch bleed and I'm making a porno. I'ma keep it going a few times before I pass out. Wake up in the morning, realize I'm black guy.